Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. And guys, before I get going today on the subject matter at hand, which is going to be talking about the importance of being a gray man at this point, something I've never really talked about, I don't think at all on the channel, but it has definitely come that time. And I guess I've touched on it in certain ways, just never direct. But if you haven't checked out the content over on Shib and News Nation, make sure to check it out. And also on their Patreon, I think they're going to have videos from the conference that I just spoke at, TruthorCon 2025. And then also, if you want to check it out here on the channel, and I'll have it up on Patreon soon. Y'all willing? I don't know what the deal is lately. I've had a struggle getting a couple videos to go up on Patreon. I'm trying to catch that up. Thank you to everybody that supports me over there, guys. You do not know how much that has been a help on me here, and especially getting to Dallas to speak and back. Like, I paid for all that out of pocket, so I really truly appreciate everybody that supports the ministry and everybody that especially supports me on Patreon, guys. I'm trying to put it to work for the kingdom. With that said, the current state of affairs that's going on in our nation, like imminent right now, that's going on between I'm going to just start. I'm just going to go for the jugular first, and then we'll go from there and work our way down. So Islam, I have had a lot of interactions with Hebrew Israelites, and particularly the ones that, I would say people refer to as the ABC camps, and people that, the white man is the devil, we're all going to burn in hell, except we're going to serve for 1,000 years, then we're not even going to be there, and then we're going to be destroyed, but we want all of your daughters for wives, but we still hate you, and you're a Neanderthal, but I want to mix my seed with a Neanderthal. And then you have the word that, like, some Hispanics and Latinos are accepted, but Chinese people or Asian people, we don't talk about them because it's really, we're torn on if they're Moabites or, blah, 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 blah. There's just all this stupid stuff, right, that gets carried on with that. But while that distraction is going on, the monstrosity of Islam is raising its ugly head. I mean, for crying out loud, like, they even are buying up a ton of companies in the U.S. They bought up EA, Electronic Arts, the other day, like the media, entertainment. I mean, guys, like, Islam's tentacles and real Esau's tentacles is really reaching across the world. It's getting kind of scary out here, especially the BRICS thing. And, I forget that one comedian the other day, he dressed up as one of the particular camps that I'm not going to give a commercial for, and was on the street corner carrying on, and I found that distasteful. Whether I agree with people or not and their doctrine, I just think that you better be very careful with stuff like that, because that's borderline to me blasphemy, if not already there. But there is a lot going on out here in our world where that I see all this distraction going on, all this hatred, all this melanism, and not getting into the actual word, loving your neighbor, keeping the commands and stuff like that. While that distraction is taking place and unfolding here in America, and not to mention the Torah community itself not really walking it out, ever being in agreement, even those of us that's come out of the nations to honor and keep Torah, like, it just seems like there's a very lack of getting together, unifying, being one body, having a community support system. And in the meantime, while all that's going on, the world is on absolute burn down. I know I've ranted for a second, but just let me break this down for you. So in Dearborn, Michigan, apparently the mayor there named, or is in the process of, or has already named a couple streets, one or two streets, I think, in the name of terrorists, that this country would deem terrorists. And this one man went to a meeting, complained about it. Yeah, I was a Christian. Went to the meeting, complained about it. And the guy said, the mayor was so bold to say that he'd be thrilled whenever that guy moves out of town, even though he was a native to there. And that when he did move out of town, he would have a parade to celebrate him leaving. That is the spirit of Islam. I want to make sure and clear this out. And the reason I'm laying all this stuff out in a foundation is because I want you to understand why right now, today, it is important to become a gray man. Like in religious circles, in political circles, in the world in general. Just bear with me. So in New York, apparently the new mayor that's been elected said that he was a Muslim and that he was a staunch democratic socialist, I believe was his quote too. And New York is wrecked. It is about to be wrecked. And then you have Mr. Double Tongue, Mr. Orange Man, out here saying, yeah, we're going to give them SNAP benefits. And then actually, I'm not going to give them SNAP benefits after all. This man, one day, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or somebody, a libertarian as myself, that's actually like tries to be as close to the word and constitutionalist as possible without those blending into each other, it confounds my mind that people still to this day are red hatters and MAGA, because that, like the guy says something one day, let's go back to trade tariffs. There won't be tariffs, then there will be tariffs. Well, there won't be this amount. Well, now it's this amount. The guy is like dyslexic whenever it comes to what is really to be received, or it like makes it dyslexic for us because like you look this way, then you're back this way. And it's just like, what in the world is really going on here? And so, the guy just has a double tongue about everything. I'm just honestly just so sick of that man. Like I hear his name and a part of my soul inside just melts because all that he follows him is evil. Like honestly, aren't they just making a copy of the Reichstag's ballroom right now in the White House? I think is the newest endeavor of the man. I can't keep up with it all. But the last thing I say to this and then go into the heart of the matter, which I can't believe I've ranted this long, but it's just a lot on my mind since Texas, the drive home from Texas, and a lot's went on. The tracking. So if you drive through from middle of the United States where I just was to home, you look on every little street corner, you look in every little small town, and I guarantee you, I almost will guarantee you, if you drive you get in the car, don't do it today because it's Sabbath when I'm filming this, but any other day after Sabbath, you get in your car and you go drive your town you live in. Drive every important main street, intersection, loop, bypass, and see if you don't see facial recognition scanners somewhere. If not one, multiple. And it is, you can see this grid being created. People in Europe's getting creative. They're putting like mixed face paint on so that the algorithm doesn't recognize them. I think that's lit. Very, very combative to that. But we are approaching this critical mass where that you've got to become a gray man. I just recently turned in an app to do a maintenance job local here in East Tennessee, in between doing my off-grid stuff, because I've always kept a regular job plus done that as gig work, because I can fly in and out, drive in and out, do what I need to and be done. And, for those, this is going to be a different video. For those that want to do SAT Day Sabbath or SUN Day Sabbath and act like it's hard to keep the Sabbath, you wait until you actually one day get your big boy pants on and want to keep the scriptural calendar, your new moon days, your Sabbath days, your feast days that are the Father's, and you actually do it right by the book, you'll have a struggle bus keeping a job. I promise you. Or getting a job, even if you're mega qualified. And that, friends, is how you know that that's the right way, because the other two are way too easy on the Roman calendar. And I got news for you. The Roman calendar, it doesn't go by the Father's calendar. Just that little caveat for you too. But as I'm sitting at the job interview, like they want to do a background check and stuff, and most places do, and drug tests these days, which is smart. And, it come back in like a blink of an eye and clean. But I was just thinking to myself, I was like, it's going to get to a point where that they're going to know every single move we make. If you so much as have a hiccup, you're going to be on this social credit score system, all these things, it's in the move. And knowing this today, it is so important that we start taking baby steps to exit the system as much as possible. Now, let me digress on what I mean by that. If you don't have off-grid power, what are you going to do when the power turns off? All right, now I ain't saying go out here and put a massive array, and this ain't an advertisement for us for off-grid contracting. I'm just saying, like, if you don't have a little portable power pack, I have two of them in my house, two of them, because one is none and two is one. Two is one, right? So that's Common Core. That's Prepper Common Core, you know, because they teach all this crazy stuff at school. Yeah, two is one and one is none. There you go. That's Common Core for prepping. You're welcome. And so anyway, you know, like power. And do you have water? If you don't have water stored, do you have means just, to filter it? And do you have heat and shelter? Because, like, that literally is the most critical thing. You need to take a poop, you can go out in the woods and take a poop. Sanitation you can work on, a lot of other things you can work on, but outside of, I mean, security which should be the next thing even before you get to sanitation, because like I said, you can take a walk in the woods. But like there is a lot of things that a person needs to start checking off their bingo card, okay? Because the baby steps that you can take now to mitigate out of the system is going to be critical in the future, because they are wanting everyone so complacent that when the prison grid finally drops around everyone's just going to be freaking out. Like they're not going to know what to do. And so at that point, you got two things: you resist and die, and because you're ill prepared. It's not that you can't resist, but you didn't prepare to resist. So there you go with that. And the other one's being the knee. It's just that easy. And when you think about straight narrow path and what Messiah said about few there be that enter in the life everlasting, I mean, it's very clear to me that anyone that's listening to me right now and is really serious about being prepared, you're in a minority. You need to understand you are in a mega minority. And the future cyberpunk dystopian future that I have discussed at great length, you know, I may live in the country right now and I don't see robots and everything going on, but for those of you that live in the city, the facial recognition scanning and the drones and the dog bots and then the robots and the lover robots and companion bots and just all the crazy funk that is going down. If you have never tried to take steps to exit this system, now today is that day to become a gray man, because there is a massive religious shift going on in the world. Like, I am curious, very intrigued, and we'll probably produce a video about it, of scenarios that I see coming, is that where Christianity and Islam are going to literally destroy each other over, and Judaism, Jewishness, the imposters over there in the land today will be the chief instigators of that at work. And it's like that, what was the letter? I've talked about it before. It was from the Illuminati head guy to the Freemason Albert Pike, and they talked about the 3 world wars, and it just seems like everything's running it right down the line. So to me, it is going to be very intriguing to watch the years ahead as this unfolds. But in the meantime, I'm telling you, if you've ever listened to anything I've said on this channel, like, really evaluate, is it important to me to be mega involved in society anymore? Is it important to me to be in the city or around a ton of people? Like, is these things mega uber important anymore? Because if they're not, I need to start taking steps back and away from it all, because it is about to get ugly out here. And, you know, not drawing attention to yourself, simple clothing, you know, just like, I mean, when I go out anymore, I have my 5'11" tactical pants on, boots, and sometimes I'll just wear a shirt that don't even have like anything on it. Just simple guy. You know, you don't need to be driving a darn Bentley, or a Cadillac. You know, I drive a Jeep truck, and yeah, it's very tactical, but I mean, I'm trying to be prepared. That's my bug out vehicle, right? That's my get home and my getaway vehicle. So, you know, but I'm not saying, you know, go out here and buy you a Ferrari tomorrow. That is not being a gray man. You know, having a prepared vehicle, I'm not going to knock you on that. I do it myself. I'd be a hypocrite if I did. But being, even if you want to have a good prepared vehicle, then just drive an old, like, beater car to work and back, that's cool too. Not flashing your money out there, not flashing your wealth, not flashing that you bought a new fancy ATV the other day or whatever, or flashing your preps out there. Like, I just don't do that no more. Like, I know I do a preparedness channel, but like, I literally, the very, very coordinated effort that I'm trying to take now to step off the scene. Also, I think when I move, you may only ever see me anymore just in the studio. Like, I don't even think I will, if when I move, I don't think anyone will ever see anything of mine ever again. That's like how far I've went from educating people years ago and showing how to build things and prep and build a wood gas fire to off-grid power to water, you name it. I have went from that to this because I can see the shift that is taking place right now. And we are so close to so many people being visited by those that are in the authorities, I would just say. As many people going to catch a visitation. A lot of these people that have been so prideful and arrogant and set themselves up over others, that they are going to catch some L's because they have caught too much attention by those out there. I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot of people in fellowships and camps and communities and circles that are going to catch some serious attention and flack because they have been way too much on the radar. And people's going to say, well, Luke, you're one of those people. That is probably so. But I had committed a long time ago. The difference between me and them is I had committed a long time ago that I have two options. I can be a voice for the kingdom and be a watchman on the wall, or I can have people's blood on my hands. And I know people were kind enough to warn me in the past about what was to come, and I am so eternally grateful for that I want others to be warned too. Now, on the other hand, there's people that are out there and carrying on and doing all they can to be seen and heard of men, and they want the power and the status. And it's not really anything about helping people. It's about elevating themselves. I would call it the Koresh attitude, the David Koresh attitude. I see this in so many different situations. I've seen it happen. And like I said, they're in the Torah community. There is people and camps and fellowships and communities. You can just see it. And plus their deeds are being laid bare to people too, of what's going on in the background in their life and in their ministry. I mean, it's just so obvious. Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like, one of the best ones that recent memory was Brother Tim, whenever he helped set up that flat earth debate that went on, and that was just the craziest thing. And you see how these pastors actually expose themselves for who they are. Because the thing is that most people are simple-minded. Like, there was this one video, and I'm pretty sure it was AI the other day, but honestly, it could just be reality. Is this pastor was talking, and there was a I think it might have been a Rolls Royce sitting behind him in the church, and he was like, the reason I parked this Rolls Royce or whatever, and I'm just summarizing, I can't remember what brand it was, but we'll Rolls Royce for right now. The reason I parked this Rolls Royce in this church is because it belongs to the church. And somebody spoke up in the church and they said, well, can I drive it? And he said, oh no, JC wouldn't have that. And somebody said amen after that. And I'm like, this is that sheeple attitude that builds this up to this point where that these crazy false shepherds end up on top of a congregation. Like, it blows my mind. And being a former deacon in the church, I have seen how this stuff eventually descends into this. It's crazy, people. But you need to definitely, if you have not started living like this is the lifestyle that you need to adopt. Listen, go take your family on a great vacation. Go enjoy the good things of life while you can. Love one another. Stack your wealth. Stack your preps. Have a nice vehicle. Just be careful about how you conduct yourself, because people are desperate. People are watching. People are one paycheck away from bankruptcy. People are literally hungering to death. You just don't know how bad it is out there until you just actually get out there. I mean, I watched people walking in the streets in Dallas, and I can't tell you the amount of homelessness that I have seen. I have seen more homelessness now, I think, than ever before in my entire life in this country, which is just terribly sad. And this country's giving millions and billions of dollars away to other countries, but we can't help our homelessness population here. It's crazy. But, guys, like I said, just really be critical and think about how you conduct yourself out here anymore, because it's important. It is absolutely imperative to have as minimal footprint as possible. I have made sure to stay away. I stay away from the authorities. I stay away from trouble. Heck, I went the other day for that job. I'll close on this. I went for a job interview the other day to get that job, and the main man asked me, he said, "Are you drama?" And I was like, buddy, I was like, number one, or he asked me two things. If I would show up for work and not quit on him, I was like, listen, I have a track record. When I work for people, it's for years. Last job went into over a decade. And I was like, now, as far as drama goes, I don't drink, don't smoke, don't party, don't cheat out on my wife, lay out with other women, or especially other men's wife. And I was like, I go home each day to my kids. So if I could just go to work and come home and have a peaceful life, that'd be just fine by me. And he liked that answer. And, I'm telling you, just as I said at that job interview the other day, you need to just absolutely have as minimal footprint in this world anymore as possible, because they are listening, they are watching. And as that pagan holiday season rolls up on us, they're always like, he's making a list and checking it twice. Let me tell you, the freaking government's making a list and checking it twice. And I'm going to tell you what, when the time comes, they're going to come and they're going to get a pile of people. And you keep in mind that this government is shifting. It is becoming that beast system. It is becoming Islamic. It is becoming extreme fascist on both spectrums. It's crazy. You got Orange Man pouring in the fascism. You got Islam pouring in the fascism. And it is going to come to a critical mass here in the future. And you can see it. You can feel it. You can just taste it in the air. And it is so obvious, and it's shifting that fast. So, guys, just know this at the very end of this video right here, that the country and the world you grew up in, if you're 30 and 40, the world you grew up in doesn't exist anymore. And the other people, the Gen Zers and all the people that was born like 2004, they don't know what that world was like before. The beginning of the shifting, it just started. And of course, after 9/11, it has absolutely fundamentally never been the same. And the loss of freedom erodes every single day, just like me and my mom talked about over lunch together the other day. And it is so obvious. And all the elders and all the people you call old heads, if you actually take 5 minutes and sit down with them, they will tell you a world that used to exist, and it is not the same as now. So guys, as always, till we see you again here at 7 Times Prepper Channel, I hope Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name.